Good morning, honey. You like it? Yeah. What do you want? So if you've been following along with our journey here at Fuller Life and Fuller Farms, you know that we've been on a bit of a hiatus over the last couple weeks. Not intentional, just things got in the way. Not really got in the way. I started to lack a bit of motivation for editing and things. So I mean, we'd filmed a bunch of stuff over the last 2 weeks, but I never really felt like I had a moment where I still had enough energy to go edit and post videos. So a lot of things have happened over the last 2 weeks, and I wanted to take a minute and kind of do a farm update. And as I'm walking out here, I just noticed that 2 of our pigs are out, and they're getting into the water. Nope, three of our pigs are out. There comes another one. Interesting. Well, I need to take care of that real quick. Before I take care of them, because I know that they're going to be kind of difficult, I wanted to introduce you to somebody. We picked this guy up last week. Everyone, meet Chris McCarty. He's burying himself in the mud right now. He is in a 2-strand polywire paddock right next to the garden, because this is where he decided to come to after he broke out of the brooder barn pen. What are you doing, big guy? What are you doing, big guy, Chris McCarty? Hey, big buddy. He is a super sweet pig. He is about 5-month-old, 170 pounds boar. So we're gonna keep him around to breed to one of these ladies. I believe the one that's in the water currently. So I'm guessing y'all are a little bit hot, huh? Now I need to go figure out how they got out. Now I've been keeping these ladies in 1 strand of polywire, and it's done really well until yesterday, whenever I moved them from the area they were in under the trees to this area right here. And now they don't want to stay in here. I don't get why. They got a ton of stuff to eat on. They got shade from the trees, but they just do not want to stay in here. So I've got to try to figure out how to get them from over there back into their pen. These ladies do not really like following me around with a bucket. Only like in the mornings when they're really hungry. This is going to be a little interesting. And I think I'm gonna wrap that. I've been using 1 strand of polywire, but it's obviously not holding them right here. So I'm gonna have to go wrap it around maybe another strand. And they're all trying to get into this water trough for the cows. I almost just want to pick. If I could, I would just pick it up with them in it and move them. But I know that's not gonna work. Huh? little warm? You gotta go back to your pen. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna go get the water hose and I'll string it over there to y'all's new paddock and we'll wet the whole thing down for you. How about that? It's really funny that this is where they came to. This is gonna be difficult to get them back over to where they're supposed to be. Because they don't really like following me with food. So we'll kind of try. I think my best bet is to get the water hose over there and just spray the area down so maybe they can make a wallow or something. It'd be really cool if they would just, follow me. But Chris McCarty, the new boar, he just follows me anywhere I go if he's not locked up in his boar prison over there. All right, well, let's see how much fun this is gonna be. What I'm kind of hoping for is that they'll come follow me with this water hose. They seem to respond pretty well to it. Come on. Sadly, this is about as far as I can get. I'm at a point of I might just rewire in this area that they were in and call it that and make them just stay here. This is so frustrating. This is what my last 2 weeks has been like. Not so much with pigs getting out, with just you come out to do chores and something crazy happens. Like every day. And it's not that these guys don't respect the polywire or even the one strand of polywire. They're getting out because this area that I put them in has a couple low spots that they can kind of just scoop under. And for whatever reason, they really loved this area right here. Absolutely loved being there. So now I'm stuck with trying to figure out what area here they scooped under. Like it might have been right here. Or this area over here that is just, right there. They could just walk right under that with barely even hitting the polywire. So we got some concerning spots. But for tonight, I just want to get them contained so I don't have to worry about them. So I think what I'm going to do is just rewire them in to this area that they were already in and call that good for now. Because they'll stay right here for the most part. But they're over here eating the dry food that they didn't eat last week. And now you're following. If you're going to follow me back into your pen. Dang pigs. If only these pigs were as easy as the cows. Now, I think I've said before that pigs were the easiest animal on the homestead. I still do believe that. Despite them getting out of their pen. Them getting out is really my fault. It's mismanagement on my part. Alright. I was able to lure them back with a wallow. And I reverted back to 2-strand polywire. I'm gonna get it down. I think one strand of polywire is sufficient, as long as me or you as the manager make sure to find any discrepancies in your line and the contour of the ground. I really do think that we would have been just fine had I made sure there wasn't any ground dips that they could just get under. Pigs will find it. They will find your mistakes. That's for sure. All right, next update, the cows. Hello, Mama. As you can see, she's really warmed up to us. Anytime that we walk outside, number 4, this is Mama, she comes right up to us. Says hello and asks for some protein and whatnot. So we're gonna get them a few scoops here. Red is letting us get a little bit closer each day. She's eaten out of our hands a couple of times. Same thing with Betsy, the year-old heifer. McCarty, I put him, he decided that he wanted to be right here next to the garden. He had broke out of the brooder barn up there by rooting up underneath one of the fences to let me know that my hog paneling was not sufficient for a 175-pound boar. But he ended up over here, and I just fenced him in, and he wasn't trained to electric fencing at all. He'd never experienced it before. So I was a little bit worried that this was not gonna hold him, but he's been here for, well, a week now and hasn't had any issues. So, Chris McCarty, everybody. Big boar Chris McCarty. He's trained to electric fencing now, but you can see I have him on like 4 lines right here. That's only because of how I had to run it to fence in the cow paddock as well. This other area is just 2 strands. One 6 inches up and one about 12 to 18 inches. Next update is our garden, guys. Check this out. So yes, the grass and weeds have definitely overtaken, but our squash and pumpkins and everything are really flourishing in here. We're starting to get a couple little bulbs of squash and pumpkin setting on. And if you check out our watering system, a lot of you have been concerned for us, and we appreciate it, about our water pressure. I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, oh, the water isn't as strong as I would think it would be. But we learned very quickly after the last couple videos that our water pressure was in fact not good. We ended up going about a week where the water pressure was just like steadily decreasing every day to where we were taking showers that were like a trickle of water coming out. And there was no hot water because there wasn't enough pressure to build up in the hot water tank. So we had no warm water. It was all freezing cold. I was taking showers that felt like someone was sprinkling water out of a cup very slowly, and it was like ice cold water. It was great. But we finally got a hold of a water well service to come out and check it out. And cool thing about them, and I'll play this little clip that I got while they were here fixing it. So cool thing about the water well service we got. We're doing something about our water well. And no, we did not start a water well service company. We just found one in our area with the same name. How cool is that? Fuller Water Well Service came out, called them. They were out here like that, and they're getting this thing fixed for us. So we couldn't be more happy about it. We're gonna have water pressure again, and they have the same name of us. That's really cool to find someone in our area that shares. We don't know if there's any relation or not, but it's cool enough. we found a water well service that had the same name as us, Fuller Water Well Service, and they were great. They came out and fixed us up really quickly. From the time I called them on I think a Tuesday. They got it fixed on Wednesday by the end of the day, about mid-afternoon. So that was awesome. And now our water pressure is now better than it was when we moved in. I didn't even know that it wasn't, like, I didn't even realize that our water pressure wasn't sufficient until you guys started telling me, like, y'all started asking about our water pressure, and it turns out it was low. And the issue was our water well pump down. We have a 60-foot water well, and the pump that was in it was just burnt out. This guy right here. So this was just burnt out, and the cap was actually broken down there. This is where it pumps up the water. So it was broken, and it was burnt out, and it was pushing up about 10 psi by the time that they came out and fixed it. So now our water pressure is great, and I couldn't be more happy. It did cost a pretty penny. And once again, just kind of like everything that's going on around here since we've moved, is like steadily something goes wrong almost every week. And it's something major. Like both of our vehicles have messed up. The electrical issue with Bailey's car whenever we first moved here. The DEF pump in my truck went out a couple weeks after buying it. Our tractor had some recall issues that we had to take it in for 3 weeks to the shop for. Luckily, the dealer, Big Tex Tractor Company, was awesome and gave us a loaner. Our AC went out. We had a leaky roof, and our water well pump went out. So we're just getting loaded with things going wrong at Fuller Life, Texas, but we're still feeling fuller. We're still really appreciative of this decision that we made to go on this journey. So behind all that, our last update that I want to give you guys today is what we did for our chickens. If you notice this, or if you recognize this mobile coop contraption, this is a Justin Rose style chickshaw. And we built this week in order to get these chicks out of the brooder in the garage because they're getting way too big for it. So took me a couple days to get this thing completely built, just because of time crunch and everything else that we were working with. But here's our chickshaw. It's 6 foot by 6 foot. We got 3 boxes in there for whenever they decide to quit being freeloaders and start giving us eggs. But our chicks are getting to be a pretty good size now. They're fully feathered out, and now they get to start working on our grass. And actually, one more update. We have had a really, really hot couple of weeks here in Texas. Like, so much so that it's hard to breathe whenever you walk outside. So I've really been kind of coming out doing the chores and going inside because it's just too hot to be out here. And then coming out later in the evening like it is now, whenever it's cooled off just a little bit and it's a little bit more bearable. Anytime you're in the shade is fine. It's whenever you get out in the sun that it's really hot. But we got the chores done tonight. I'm gonna go inside. Bailey and I are gonna relax tonight. We're a bit tired. The animals don't care. Animals don't care that you're tired. They don't care that it's raining. They still need to be taken care of. That's what we're doing. See you guys on the next one.